Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Esig Hydra. In this video we're going to be going through a previous game I have played. I've got a bunch of recordings of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2, and what we're going to do is a little bit of replay analysis. Now this is taken from the beta, so things are likely to change if you're watching this in the future, but hopefully some of the RTS decisions and self-critique I can apply to myself may be useful. Now I'm not the best player in the world, I'm still learning. That's very much the point in this video, to simply point out how many things I'm doing wrong. So to start off with, I've already given away the position of my entire fleet here by using the thruster ability of my stealthed 3 units there. This is basically out of impatience to capture that as quickly as possible. I've also put the escort over to the left hand side to waddle off on their own. This is maybe not the best idea because the escort does give quite a lot of damage bonus to nearby units by identifying units nearby, which gives a critical bonus against them, but also for the perks that I've chosen, the units within the identification range of my escort get a bonus. So basically separating it off doesn't make a lot of sense. I have stealth units there, I could have sent one of them. They would have been able to take down an enemy escort on their own anyway, so it seems a bit like an odd choice. I'm definitely going for a lot of early map control here. The enemy will know that I'm basically rushing to this objective, and will they do anything to counter that? Who knows? Obviously they know my units are here, but they don't know what the units are. The enemy units the other side, I don't have an escort nearby to do any identification, so it would have really made sense to maybe keep that escort there. What we're doing now is trying to put them in a position where they can run away fairly quick, because it's apparent that these spheres aren't going to get there fast enough, so hopefully they can disengage with time and don't get basically hammered by whatever's approaching. This is risky. If this was against an orc or something of the sorts, then they could quite easily identify my units and then just charge in there with a war, and that would be a lot of pain. So I'm not too happy with how I've split my forces. I would have much rather put those 3 units that are currently capturing this point on the far left and then brought them in and kept my main force back just a little while longer to wait it out as such. But so far seems okay. We've got those guys there ready to leave. We're queuing up the leave, the exit maneuver, because they're going to capture this fairly quick. Okay, they've been marked. That was fairly predictable. Capturing it, 3, 2, 1, there we go. So now basically thruster, get out of there really quick. Could have reacted quicker, not the end of the world. Doesn't look like they're going to take much damage. My little escort there popping up the middle is completely on his Todd, not done a scan yet. Taking me quite a while to do any abilities here. I'm just letting that escort take way too many hits, not necessary. The scan could have been done a lot earlier. The escort I could have used my E and Q key to get them out. So I basically just suicided an escort for no reason. Now I know they're all opening fire at this point on the sphere on the right, and I've moved these units back around. I think the moment they started shooting at that sphere, I should have probably put the sphere on brace for impact, because it looks like they're focusing it pretty hard. I'm guessing I probably missed some Nova cannons there, given how fast the health has gone down for this, so maybe that would have been a good idea. Fortunately, I think we're going to squeeze that other sphere out just in time. Again, a little bit slower than I'd like. I could have either done a lightning strike with both of those spheres by now, and I'm also not really using the Seeker missiles here. Finally got round to using them. We're pumping out some aircraft too, presumably in a few seconds, but been very, very slow to take advantage of all of the different abilities. I think here probably the best thing to do would actually have been to have just select everything and then click the abilities using hotkeys and then click on the enemy. And what I've noticed as well here is I'm continually clicking to attack enemies rather than just setting a target priority, which saves all of these little clicks. So that's something that could help. We've also not targeted a single system yet. We've not really made particularly good use of the stasis bombs either. We haven't used a single one yet, despite having gone through several ships. Clearly struggling to use all of the abilities, so that's something that you can definitely notice that hotkey usage is something that's going to help. I probably would have placed that bomb a bit further forward. That way he would have gone just into it. He's probably going to queue out of that, I would guess. By queue I mean thruster. So we've got the ships here. What are the others doing? And I think finally we've got round to using a lightning strike. Didn't pay attention there. The audio cues from this I do find fairly hard for the iron cannon. I quite often miss them, but these 3 units in the bottom left have been doing nothing for the last minute, maybe even more, so that's pretty embarrassing. We haven't decided to shoot their missiles yet. So all in all, a very poor use of my burst abilities. I think I could have thrown down a lot more damage a lot faster. We've got 2 of my main ships here targeting 1 when they could be shooting at another ship. Now granted, they will take less damage being shot at because they've got more frontal armour, but really I've been denying a lot of DPS. Like these units down in the bottom left here, they've got a huge amount of armour. They could have quite happily sat there and shot at these very slow moving Imperial units for quite a while. So all in all, pretty inefficient. We can use a lightning strike here, finally. Lost 7 troops myself, damn. Now I'm opting to try and fly behind. No, I'm not. I'm just going off into the sunset to get some distance, presumably because the enemy will have less accuracy. I presume that's my thinking anyway. And decide to run to the right. I don't really see an issue with that. It makes the enemy, forces them into making a choice. I appear to have the better long and mid-range damage right now. I'm not going to comment on the other person's play. I feel that's unfair because I don't know the faction as well as I should, but definitely been some very poor management from me thus far. Throwing that escort away very early on meant that I missed basically twice as much critical hit damage and a lot of accuracy from these 2 ships on the right that are currently running away and still running away, and managed to turn them about. Now what stance? Have we even changed their stance? Because I don't think that's something we've played with yet. They probably should have been put on reload quite a long time ago, especially the fact that an escort's now dead. Man, we can run away here. I think what would probably be best is retreating down to the right. We'll take some fire, but then the other units at least get to shoot. They ran away far too far. Escort's going to get punished. We could be using the Q there. Yep, okay, we're still awake, just about. I'd probably go and brace for impact for the escort, just so it doesn't die. Its damage is going to be fairly negligible, but keeping it near my main units and slightly further back would have made sense. He's not got any stealth units, so I don't really need to identify that often. So keeping it behind the other units at a longer range would have made sense. Would have given me a damage boost. In terms of running away, we're doing a fairly competent job of that, I guess. Yep, back in stealth. Wonderful. Very nice sneaky mechanic. Once you've killed the enemy escorts. Okay, a fairly good opportunity to run away here. I've still not made good use of my bombs and things of that nature. I'm clearly having some hesitation here on who to attack. Should I do him? Should I do that? Still not use my stasis bombs. I've got 3 charges and 2 charges. That's just very poor, what I can see, very poor general awareness of what abilities I have and don't have, as well as how to make use of my damage. Like that escort could be a lot closer, could be giving me a large damage bonus. Clearly I'm trying to kite him, but we're not doing much damage while we're running away like this. I could probably kite with 2 of them. There's no real reason to keep them as a whole squad, so I could be kiting with 2. That one far down south could just turn and attack, I think. The actual damage you receive in return is not that huge, and I would be doing a lot more damage, so that's something I could definitely be thinking about. They're all on running silent as well, so... Okay, so now, yeah, let's just get them to attack. Now, why am I running that one away? Presumably because the shields are a little low. That kind of makes sense. Okay, now they're finally getting a buff to their damage. Sphere is on his way. And these guys that are on max range, I mean, I think they're on 2 different stances by the looks of it. One's on reload and one's on the central one for the extra range. But you can see the accuracy of that weapon there's really dropped off. Mainly because I don't have the accuracy bonus from having my troop identify the enemy units. Again, throwing away escorts as Tau, pretty painful. They have this mechanic with the Monk Tar start where... oh no, I'm actually thinking of one of the passives. One of the fleet passives gives you a significant accuracy bonus when you are identifying enemy ships. And that makes a difference. Still not taken advantage of the enemy targeting system, so I've not prioritised targets. Instead, I'm spending so much time individually clicking units, so that's not efficient. Finally using a bomb, which I could have done a long time ago, to both drop an enemy shield and to just force them to move. I could have used it for all sorts of things. They can't use Nova cannons when they are on the move as well. So that could have been done. There's just so many opportunities. Like, we've finally knocked off his shield. Definitely the lack of focus fire is not ideal either. I mean, we managed to split him up But if he had decided not to split and chase me around in a big tight unit, it probably would have caused me some problems. But definitely I think some hotkey necessary, and greater awareness of abilities probably my starting choice, and much better use of escorts I think would probably be my main takeaway message from here. Don't charge an escort off to identify and then forget to run him back. Like, identify as soon as he's in range and get him the hell out of there. Keep him on silent running if you need to. Like, he would have been fairly safe. But there you go. Now, the game as a whole, I think I'm not going to comment again on how well my opponent played, but I think this could have gone a lot better for me. A lot more focus, a lot more damage could have come out on a single unit at a time. We had all of those bombers, and we have 5 units in this army or fleet that can fire, I'll call them heat-seeking missiles, but guided missiles. They would have been a useful tool to actually stack. So, because when you fire these things, torpedoes do get shot down by enemy turrets, so the more you fire at once, the more we'll get through. Finally we get there, but again, much better could have been done. We didn't capture the other objectives on the side, but hey, hopefully you guys find this useful. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do more of these, and hopefully they help you guys out a little bit too, and hopefully they help me. Guys, take care, have yourself a great day, and all the best. Toodaloo.